Hello YouTube, this is Greg again. We're here, we got a bathroom fan. We're going to be replacing this bathroom fan. It's also called an exhaust fan as well. So we're going to open up this box here and see what's inside here. This is the exact same duplicate fan, so we should have all new parts. We're going to also be replacing this plastic cover as well, since this is the exact same model of fan. As you can see here, they both look the same. So we should be able to, without having to replace the whole, this is the whole assembly right here. We should be able to just replace just this, the whole metal piece right here should just pop right out of this one. And we'll just put the whole new assembly in. So this is the motor assembly right here we're going to be replacing on this one. Like I said previously, we have all new parts for this guy. So we're going to be doing it right now. So I'm going to stand up here. And we're going to reach in here, we're going to push these two little wires together, and so you can see here the little wires, they press in like that, and that's how the cover is held in place. So now that we got that removed, this thing is only held in by a few little things. So you take a screwdriver here, let me get my screwdriver. So I'll take my big huge screwdriver here, and we'll stand up here. And we're going to pry on these little tabs up here, and we should be able to pop it out. Now it's going to be really, really dusty, so if you're allergic to dust, you probably shouldn't do this. But I'm not really, so I'm going to be prying this guy out here. It can be kind of a challenge because it depends on where they're anchored in at. This old housing, I'm not really caring too much about it because, like I said, this is the exact same model, but we want to keep the upper one pretty good. Okay, see, we got this tab has popped out on this side. So if you look right there, you can see the tab has popped out, and you can actually see it's now starting to come out. We now have to get this tab out of here, so we're going to work with this one a little bit, and you can see it start to come out too. We have also one more tab right over here, so we're going to be working with that tab too, and here it comes, and it's going to make quite a bunch of dust everywhere. Okay, so now we got this out. We're just going to unplug this, so we're going to unplug it right here, maybe. Always make sure the power's off too when you're working with this stuff, but this is just a simple plug, so it's not too bad. So now I got that out. As you can see here, it's pretty dusty. Okay, so now we've got a rag here. We're going to clean this up in here a little bit. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of dust that's going to be falling off of this thing, but we're going to try to clean this up as much as we possibly can because we want the new one to run flawlessly, and all this dust that builds up here, this is actually what caused this to start squealing, most likely, is that this dust just builds up over time here. So we're just going to clean this. Okay, so here we are. We're now at the point of replacing this whole assembly. As you can see here, look how this thing should spin freely. It shouldn't have resistance like it does here. So we're going to go ahead and take this guy out now. So we're going to, same deal, it's got little tabs that hold it in place. So we're going to get my screwdriver over here, and we're going to simply take the screwdriver and start prying on these little tabs here. These tabs, there's no real easy way to get them out. You're always going to have to rebend them back in when you get it into the old existing fixture. And be careful not to break the new fan blade. But these things have always had a challenge. I've never really had an easy way of changing these things out. I'm sure there's people out there that say I'm doing everything wrong, but this is how I do it, and I've had a lot of success doing it this way. So, alright, and so as you can see here, I've got this new one out, and we're just going to look at this one. We're going to make sure everything looks the same, and as it does, it looks the same, and look at that thing. So easy that spins. That's how it should be. It should spin easy, easy. Let's get this one up here. Put it back up here. So now we're going to make sure the power plug lines up with the hole in here, and we might have to move this metal tab back in. Let's get some pliers, which are over here. So like I said, you got to adjust these and move these around according to what they need to be. And as you get this in here, you use the big screwdriver, and we will push these tabs back in and it should work perfect. Let's get this back in here too. So then we'll get back up here and we will be putting this back in. Like I said, make sure we get the power plug lined up good. And it looks like it's gonna go in there nicely now. Let's see here, we gotta find the angles from where everything goes in. Dust in my mouth, that's good. Good for your soul. So these things can be kind of a pain getting them back in here, but they should work. And make sure the fan moves freely, and it does still move freely, because if it doesn't, that means you've pushed too far and the fan is now up against the housing, which is a terrible thing because now the fan's not going to work, so you're going to be left with the same problem of the original. Well, in this case it'd be worse because the original one at least worked a little bit. So we're going to make this one get in here, and it's going to stay in here as soon as I get it pressed up there. Put the screwdriver in my pocket for a minute while I continue messing with this. I'll just sit over here because we want this to stay where it is. We don't want it to vibrate loose or cause any problems like that. So we got this tab that's now ready to be pressed back into the fixture. These things are a little bit hard to press, so don't be afraid to use a little bit of force, because that's kind of the nature of the tabs, is you kind of want them to be hard so they don't come out. That's kind of the point of the tabs. Alright, and we'll press this tab into there. These tabs are very, very hard to press in there, but as you can see, I've almost got it in there. Not quite, but getting there. Okay, now we're gonna do this side. These tabs, their whole purpose is to keep this entire fixture from falling off the ceiling. So we'll bend that one back out. As you can see, there's a little hole. If you look up here, you can see there's that little tiny hole. That's where they need to go. And sometimes they can be really a pain, and sometimes they can be really easy. See, like this one just slid back out of its little hole again, because as you're moving things and working with things, it can be quite a pain. Let me get a pair of pliers and see if I can help this one. It's just such a small little space. Sometimes it can be very hard to get these tabs to be exactly where they need to be. But I will be back when I get these tabs in place. Okay, here we are. We're going to plug it in. So I got this tab in. Like I said, these tabs, they can be quite difficult to do that. Now let's make sure this spins freely. And as you can see here, it does. So we're going to go ahead and turn the switch, and look at that go. Okay, so now the next step, okay, so now we got the new cover here. So this is the old one. As you can see, it's pretty dirty. So we're just going to, since we already have all of the stuff out and we already have the new one, we're going to put the new one back in its place. So we're going to get up here again. Remember the little tabs, they squeeze. So that way you can put them up here. So we're going to take these and we're going to squeeze these just like that. And we're going to take this side, we're going to do the same thing. There's a little hole up here, which I'll show you on the old fixture here in a minute. It's up here, and then it's just going to simply work it back and forth a little bit, and then it's done. And we'll turn the switch to make sure it's still working. And it's working.